So day 2 of Italy.
We woke up in Cannobio in our apartment and had a first coffee on our private terrace.
Good morning. This is our first day waking up in Italy, and it's such a good weather today. So this is our view from the apartment.
And enjoyed the sun, like even with our coffee.
Yep.
And the view.
Drank a coffee on the terrace. We basically packed our stuff and
and checked out.
Left our stuff in the car, and then we walked to town.
Yeah, we went to a coffee place.
Before that, we went to the water.
Oh yeah.
We walked to like the little parking lot. Walked to the water. So we're still at our first stop at Lago Maggiore. Looks like this. Pretty sweet. And Lena's forehead. And so today was the first day we were here, and we're leaving today. Experienced a lot. It's pretty nice to see. And I took really nice pictures of me. I looked at them and I was
Really
like,
nice.
So then we walked to the night before, and we saw a bunch of little cafes and bars where we were like, every single one looks cool and has a nice atmosphere. Some of them are different. Some of them had like loud music or whatever, but all of them looked cool. All of them I would want to go drink a coffee or a beer or whatever. We went to the first one on the strip to have breakfast. It's funny because you like trying to order a breakfast in Italian and you use the Italian word for breakfast, and they're like, oh, breakfast. And they're like, okay. Yeah, that. So it comes with a sandwich, orange juice, a coffee, and that's it, right?
That's it.
And the sandwich was made is like toast in a panini press. I think they just called it toast, but I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought they would just literally give you like toast and maybe some jam.
It's not, I mean, they didn't ask you if you were like vegetarian or something. Like, they just gave you the...
It's basically a panini with cheese and ham. Pretty good.
Yeah, it was really good. And I had my first cappuccino in Italy, which is really good. This is what I think of. This is what I expect when I think of Italy. Waking up in the sun and drinking a cappuccino in the morning.
And then we walked along there a little bit. Same thing. We retraced some of the steps that we took the night before, and then checked out some clothing, and then we kept walking. But he had this tank top on because we'll be in the sun a bit, get some color. Anyways, later on I realized I was like really burned. Or I don't think I was that burned, but it was just after carrying backpacks and stuff, it makes it look worse. But either way, I was burnt, and I wasn't expecting it. Like I was like, oh, we have sunscreen. I got burnt so fast. We weren't in the sun that long, but nope, just that little bit was just too much. So then we went into town and looked at a couple things. Oh, I bought flip-flops. And they were like these really nice little alleyways. Really nice, just narrow with just pedestrian walkways in between. That's what I love about Europe in general.
This is just off topic, but I'm so looking forward to show you Pavia, like these alleys, and yeah.
So we just tried to experience a little bit more of the city. And we didn't get that deep into it because we didn't want to spend the whole day there. So we walked a little bit. We were like, oh, let's drink another coffee. So then we went to this restaurant and we sat down, and then they asked, oh, can we get just drinks? And they're like, no, this is a restaurant. We're like, okay. If you have like tables free, why not sell people the coffee instead of... Lena was saying like, what if other people come? But there were enough tables. Well, I guess they never know how long you're gonna sit there and chat. So anyways, we got kicked out. We didn't get kicked out. They told us not only drinks. We kept walking, went to the edge of the lake again, hung out there for a bit, saw the whole area there, had another coffee.
And then went back to the car?
Yeah, we went to the supermarket real quick just to pick up some water so that we didn't have to buy it from like gas stations and stuff. And then went back to the car, and the people were obviously really nice. They were like, oh, you can park here all week. Oh, do you want me to leave the keys too? And then I think the guy didn't understand my joke at first, but I think after he did. So we got the car and then we left.
Oh no, we also talked to the owner next week on the way back. We weren't sure, but we just asked them if they have a room for us. And then he was like, yeah, you can contact me. Just call me the day before and then we will see. But you're always welcome. It was really nice.
And then we were on our way. And Lena drove the first bit. Lena, how was the driving for you?
Stressful. Because when we started, I said, okay, I can start driving, but only if we don't take the road that we took to come to Lago Maggiore, because it was these windy roads and narrow. And then we said, no, it's the other direction. So I said, yeah, I'm fine, I will drive. But then of course, because we drove on the shore. Is it on the shore?
Yeah.
We drove on the shore. It was also narrow,
I
but
think,
not
I
that
think it wasn't.
narrow.
Yeah, I think it wasn't as bad the other way, and it wasn't as long like that. Like,
Yeah.
there might have been some sections that were like as bad, but not quite as long.
But it was nice. We drove for 30 kilometers along the shore and had this really nice view, so which was really, really good. And then I think on the Autostrada, there were like the first part, there were almost no cars on the street on the road. So that
And
was
like
not
the
really stressful.
driving along the lake, you could always like look across and see the lake and the view and everything. But yeah, the Autobahn. Oh yeah, it was pretty empty for a long time.
Yeah.
And then we just basically drove over the countryside, which was pretty nice. Which is fun. And then we were driving on toll roads. They like take your ticket and then you drive to the place wherever you exit, and then like, oh, this is how much you have to pay, because whatever. So we took the ticket from Lago Maggiore, and so when we exited the highway, whatever, it was hundreds of kilometers later, I put it in and it just kept spitting it back out. I don't understand what to do here because it's not taking the thing, so I can't pay. So then it won't open the thing. So I tried to put this ticket thing in a couple times. It didn't work.
One eternity later.
And then finally somebody came on the intercom and they were like, oh, do you speak English? And I was like, yes. They're like, oh, we can't read your ticket. What does it say at the top? Do you want the serial number? Like the text at the top. And I'm Lago Maggiore? And she's like, didn't say anything else. Then all of a sudden we had a total to pay. I'm pretty sure she just calculated the maximum.
Probably.
Which is fine.
But
Whatever.
I don't know
Like
what
this-
happened. Should we have paid like somewhere before?
I don't think so. So we paid that, kept driving, and then what else happened? Nothing. We just drove and drove and drove. Oh, and then we got to there were like a bunch of tunnels again, and then we got to Genoa, like a port city.
Yeah, nice port.
Yeah, really nice, like built up onto the mountains partially, and you can see the ocean from like from the highway. Oh yeah, and then there was this other part. You like drive along, and then you just drive up this huge spiral that just keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up, because you're like gaining altitude to drive through the mountains or whatever. But it was like, I'd never really seen that. It was like just this highway that just kept going up and up and up and up. And that was it. It wasn't like huge concrete thing. It was just pillars holding it up. So it was almost like it was floating in the air kind of thing.
And then you had like these roads. Was it curvy roads?
So, okay, before that, we had one stop and you could see on the mountains. I remember taking geology, we talk about layers of sediment. Anyways, and you could see these in the mountains, so clear cut. And I was just in awe of this, but just how it looked in the mountains. I thought it was really cool. And then I took a couple pictures, and I swear some of the people that were like beside us, they looked at me and then they like looked up at what I was photographing and they were like, good. Once we got off the highway and we're closer to La Spezia, the roads got seriously windy. First part was windy roads, and then the speed limit was 70. So if it's 70, I'll try and go around 70. I don't want to speed, but I want to hold the people behind me up. So whenever safe, I would do 70. But then we got stuck by this one guy. He wouldn't go over 50. And then there were some parts where, I mean, the turns are pretty sharp, but still, I swear he got down to like 30. And I was like, okay, dude, don't need to take it this slowly. Or like turns where you could take them safely at, I don't know, 50. He took them at 30. Or whatever. So at one point I was like, I can't handle this anymore, so I passed him. Obviously in a safe and legal place.
Mm-hmm.
Lena can
Definitely.
yeah.
Confirmed.
Lena confirmed. And then after that, the roads got even, I don't want to say worse, but more windy. And then it was, oh, it's 50 here. So I'm doing 50. And then you take the turn and it's nuts. You see the turn coming and you don't know how sharp it is because you can't see around it, obviously.
Yeah.
It was a really sharp turn. I was trying to take the turns at doing like 50. Don't try this at home, kids. Lena's like trying to take a video, and her arms are just because you like hold the video out, like your arms outstretched, and her arms are just swaying across the windscreen. The streets of Italy. It was pretty fun. I was careful and all that, but it was fun driving around those windy streets because you don't experience it like not as much as here in the mountains. Anyways, so windy roads, wow. And then we got to La Spezia. It was pretty nice. Found a parking spot literally right in front of the door to the apartment. But then we found out the apartment that we booked was in the fifth floor. You don't count the ground floor.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
So you had to go up 4 flights of stairs. Huge backpacks, the ones that you see people doing backpacking tours with. And then a bunch of other backpacks. But yeah, so we carried it all up. And then we were planning our day out and we wanted to go see Cinque Terre. It's just not enough time.
And also we have like a lot of driving to do because we have to be in Naples, on Thursday. So we needed to do the driving on this day. And yeah, we were so tired from the driving and all that stuff. And we really wanted to see Cinque Terre, but we just decided to do it sometime, anytime, well, another time.
Some other time is what you were looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll probably go back at some point. And then we basically went out for the night We went to have something to eat. It was really late. I'm following a strange lady. Seeing where she's going. Hopefully she doesn't notice me following her. I don't think she sees me. I think I'm being sneaky enough. 75 floors later. And there we've reached the bottom. Wow. This strange lady is doing a dance. Let's see where she goes. Oh, she's going to our car. Oh, hey, it's Lena. I never noticed. By the time we got out, I think it was like 8:30. So we walked through the city looking for a place to eat. And the crazy thing is, all of the restaurants had all of their tables full. For a long time, it must have been 15 restaurants or something like that, where literally every single table was full. And we're like, what? How is this? We can't find a single table? It's crazy. Anyway, so we just kept looking. I found the strange lady again. She's just looking at her phone. I'm pretty sure she still doesn't realize that I'm there. We'll see. And then eventually we found a spot, chatted for actually a long time, right? But eventually we walked back and got ice cream, obviously, or gelato.
Yeah, I had chocolate and amarena, which is yogurt and berries. But this was not as good as I hoped, but the chocolate one was so good. It tasted like...
Can confirm.
Yeah, like
it was amazing.
Like chocolate.
But yeah, so then I got ice cream, we walked back, and then that was basically our night. We were pretty tired after having traveled so long and walking around for so long, and basically fell into bed and went to sleep. That basically concluded the second day.
Second day.
That's our lovely update. Bye.